What's up, Big Bob's in here. So this is it's the same video I did before, my walk around on the CJ. My other one had a copyright strike because I had some music on there, so I just redid it. So if you've seen this before, it's all good. Thanks for support. Peace out. What's going on is Bob's back in here. So this is my walk around video. I want to give a couple of shout outs and just talk a little bit real quick. So first of all, my name is Bobby. I'm a person who stutters. So as I'm going through this presentation, I stutter a little bit. That's just a little part of me. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to all my friends who've helped me out, giving me tips. And started off with Kurt Gonzalez. He helped me out first with getting the motor mounts welded in and getting all that stuff even. His brother Kent helped me out a lot. My neighbor Tony helped me out all the time. I have Abraham with all the welding whenever I needed something else done, some welding to help me out. And Mauricio, we call him Maui or Mo. He gave me all the tips. He lives in Alabama right now. And if I had a question, I text him, and he's real quick to give me a resource or to text me back, give me a picture. He's a genius at this kind of stuff. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy. Peace and I'm out. All right, how's it going? So I've talked about for a while, and I've had some people that are asking me to give a walk around on the CJ. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a tour of my 1985 CJ7. All right, so I'll give you guys just a quick little walk around of the CJ. It's 1985. I've had it for probably, I want to say, going on 25 years or so. So like I said before, it's a 1985 Jeep Cj7. I have a 91 Chevy 350 in it, 5.7 liter V8. All right, so then we're gonna go to this first thing is my winch. I have a winch right here. The winch came with the Jeep when I bought it. I've used it a few times, but I haven't really been stuck all that much. And my Jeep's been, it's been down a lot too, because I had a lot of work on it. But yeah, that's the winch. Then I'm gonna go ahead and move over to my bumper little setup that I have. So I have a Blue Torch Fab. If you can see the little thing right here, Blue Torch Fab. And what it is, it's a spring over reverse shackle setup that I have. So I'm going to show you these things right here real quick. So this is the shackle that this normally be on the back, right? And then this comes over to the front, to the side right here. And this is they call it a boomerang shackle. I think it's a 3-inch boomerang shackle. So it came as a kit, and it's a full width YJ. It's a full width YJ setup that it came with. Now, like I told you guys, this is a CJ7, so it was a little bit wider than it needed to be. But one of my buddies, he's a metal fabricator, and so what he did was he cut it down for me, and he put it back together so that it'll fit this. And he did some good work for me. So whenever I have some welding, I have a welder, but a brother like me, I don't trust my welding for this kind of stuff. I'm still learning. I don't really spend a lot of time with welding. So if I have a welding job, if my buddy's free. All right. So my front axle is a Dana 60 from I think it's from a late 80s Chevy. I'm not sure the exact vehicle came from. I got it from a buddy of mine. So I have 456 gears. I have the Blue Torch Fab diff cover. like I said, I'm running 456 gears up front. I'm Lincoln locked up front. I have a not a Dana. I have a Detroit locker in the rear. I have chromoly. I have 35 spline chromoly outer shafts. What else here? I'm running Yukon. I'm running Yukon locking hubs, and my tires are Toyo Open Country, and they are 37 by 12.5, 17. So far, I like them. They're pretty good. I think that covers everything on the front axle for you. I do have for my pinion angle. I used I think it's a 10-degree shim. Yeah. All right. I forgot to list on here. I have the Genrite mini boat style rock sliders, and what they do, it kind of goes under here. It has a little arch, so you can slide over the rocks better. Got to put that on there. One day later in California, we got the rain now. They say it never rains in Southern California, but they lied. They lied to you. All right. So the driveline, like I was saying, I got it from 4 West, and I believe they deal with Anaheim Driveline or something like that. So that's that side there, and this is my where's it, right there. Okay, and I don't have any vibrations or anything like that. It does me pretty good. Talking about my rear axle, I have a corporate 14 bolt. I did the shave kit, so it's really a 13 bolt I have, and I have the disc conversion on it, and I got that from Rough Stuff, and it has a parking brake on it. But the parking brake it doesn't hold like I need, so I have some adjustments that I may need to do to it. So I'm still trying to work that out. I made a custom bracket to hold it up there, but it's still not exactly. It doesn't hold like I want. If I'm on a steep hill, it doesn't hold the best. So I got to work on that. We'll get that done sometime. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my. I have on my shock mounts actually. So on my front and my rear. They're from I have shock mounts from a F350. From F350, I have that on the front and back. So we got that welded in right there. The shock mounts. I want to say it's from like a 87 or something like that. In there for my shock mounts, and they cost, I don't know, it wasn't too expensive, but we got those welded in. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to my we're gonna move to my purchase. They're from Rough Stuff as well. So as you can see right here, my spring purchase from the front and rear. It's from Rough Stuff. The thing I like about these is that if you want to move your axle, they have these little adjustment pins right here. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, so like I was saying, so I have all my purchases from Rough Stuff, and the thing about these that are cool is that they have these little adjustments, so you can actually move your axle back further with those. I would move mine back more if I could, but I have my gas tank is inside of I have it still in the stock location. So if I moved it back anymore, it would hit. But if let's say if you wanted more wheelbase, you could do that. We're gonna move to my gas tank right now. I do have a little space right there, okay, with the gas tank. Yeah, my brake lines, they look kind of funny, but hey, it's custom. I did it myself, no big deal. Just bended up some wire. I'm not a pro at it. I never claimed to be a pro at it, but I try to get stuff done. All right, so we're gonna talk about my gas tank. You hold this for me real quick. We're talking about my gas tank that I have here. It's a gas tank from Genrite. The gas. It's a 15-gallon tank. It used to be 20, I believe. The gas mileage is not good. I probably get 0.9 miles a gallon, something like that. This is not, you know, I don't drive it as a daily driver. It's just, you know, it's one of my toys that I have for fun. I did put a Jeep YJ fuel sending unit in there to match all my gauges, and I had to extend the feed on it. But I think I could go a little bit further, and I'll do that when I get some time. I don't know, I'll do it later. All right, so as I told you guys, my wheelie not the best. I know, but anyway, I have these mud flaps that I got. Let me get a better view from here real quick. These mud flaps that I got, it's from I think Terraflex. I got them. It's a kit. It's basically, I mean, you can really, if you wanted to, do it yourself, but I was in a rush. I try not to get, I try to follow all the laws the best I can. Over here in California, you know, I don't have mud flaps yet. So you see, I have the full width axles. With the full width axles, my tires they hang out, right? So what I do is I have the mud flaps on just so I'm not shooting mud everywhere, so I don't get pulled over by the popo. So far it's been so far so good. Anyway, the reason why I'm talking about this here is because they have these little pins. So when I go off-roading, what I do, all you have to do is you have to pull this pin right here, and then this can come off. Then I can go off-roading I can have the open space. I'm not having this big old mud flap. I'm not having this big old mud flap in the way. So you can see how it is now with no mud flap. I plan on getting in the near future. I'm going to get a tire holder, and then I'm going to get the corner guards from Genrite. And when I do that, I'll probably get some flare fenders out too, just to give me some space with that. So anyway, we're going to move on to our next thing. All right, so I'm talking about the springs, right? The rear springs are from a Cherokee XJ, I believe they're called, right? XJ. I got them from 4 West as well. Somebody was upgrading their springs, and they hooked me up with these. I don't know, it's fairly cheap. I got them. So anyway, that helps me with my stretch. I stretch my rear. If you scoot back a little bit, and I'll put some videos in, but my rear is stretched back. I stretched it back so about 4 inches. My wheelbase on the Jeep, now is 101. It's 101. I believe stock is 90. It's 94.5 or something like that. So I did get a little bit with that stretch, and like I said, I can stretch it more, but the rear hits, and the front I would have stretched more, but at the time, my old house that I used to live in, we had a leak, we had a flood at the house, and my Jeep was in pieces, and somebody, one of my neighbors or somebody called the code enforcement on me, and they gave me like 14 days to get my Jeep out. So I had to just go ahead and just, you know, put it. I called my buddy Abraham. He's able to help me just get it back on wheels so we can move it out and get it out of place. So I had to either put it in my garage, or I had to move it somewhere. Now the thing about it is that on the day that it had to be moved, I found it interesting. I got 2 people coming to my house asking me if I wanted to sell my Jeep. So there's some shady stuff going on there, but we got taken care of, and we were able to move on. All right, and then I have on the rear, I changed to some LED lights. There's some cheapies. I don't know. I think they cost me like 40. It's like $40 or something. They had another ones. They were a little bit more, and I didn't understand what the difference was. And the difference is on the side marker. These don't have a side marker, and the other ones do. So I have to, you know, I'm gonna be upgrading to a different to different lights in the near future. So like I said, I try to follow, you know, the laws the best I can. So and I believe they want you to have a side marker there, so I need to get that changed. Okay, so something that I did, I told you guys, most of my stuff is Genrite. I did use I like Poison Spider too. Nothing wrong with Poison Spider. I used their hood louver. At the time, I thought that this would solve my overheating problems, but I'll talk about this a little more in detail. I put the louvers in. It looks pretty cool, but the thing I don't like about it is that it makes the stuff inside of my Jeep, my pumps and all that kind of stuff, it makes it kind of rusty. So I don't like that fact. But you know, this is not a show car. It's not a show car. It's just my CJ. you know, so it's all good. I guess it does cool it off some, but it's something that if I had a better cooling system, I probably would not have used this. I would not have cut holes in my CJ, because you have to cut holes in the CJ in your hood to make this thing work properly. All right, so as I told you guys, most of the work I did myself, right? So this is a 91 Chevy 350. Got it from a junkyard actually. I think I paid 500 bucks. At the time, I didn't ask them if it runs or nothing. I just got it. Took it home. It sat in my garage maybe 6 months. And then we threw it in. I started off with the Chevy 305, but I wasn't gonna pass smog. It's carbureted, and the rule is if you want to pass smog, it has to be the same year or newer, and the same class of vehicle. So I had a 305 from a Camaro, but it was carbureted, and I would never pass. You know, and like I said, I'm trying to do things legal. So anyway, we're gonna show you guys here. Got my custom air breathers. It's temporary. What this basically is, I got the tire. I meant the tire. A dryer vents, and I just painted it black, and I got that thing to go in there. The good thing about this engine is that it's throttle body. They call it a TBI. I don't have any starvation problems when I'm up on a steep hill. It works fine. So that's not an issue that I have at all. It works the way it's supposed to work. All right, so as far as wiring goes, I got the front end from, it's a front end wiring kit. I'm not sure of the official name, but I got it from Painless Wiring. If you have the money to pay for it, I think I paid like 400, maybe almost 500 bucks or something. But it comes with everything. Everything's labeled, so I was able to get everything that I needed. The wiring doesn't look the best, but what I did, I have this like the shield right here. It's like a heat shield. Most of it I have that. The reason why I like it is because if I need to get into any wiring, all I have to do is just take off. You know, I have a couple what's that called? What's it called? My brain cannot think right now. These little zip things, and then I just cut them, and then you can open those up. And it's really easy. But yeah, I did the wiring myself. I need to get a few grommets, you know, a couple of spots that going through the firewall. The main one here, I do have a grommet, but you know, there's a couple others, a couple of grounds that I don't have. But yeah, so it's a painless wiring. It did pretty good, but I have everything wrapped with that pretty much. So if I want to get into it, it's not hard to do. I still want to talk to you guys about the heating issue. So one thing I was having was that there's a thing called heat soak, and what the thing on heat soak is, I guess if your engine gets too hot, it messes with the my terminology may not be the best, but the heat soak, the problem was if it gets too hot, you can't, it was acting like I had a dead battery. It wouldn't start. Once the Jeep cooled down a little bit, I go start it, it would work again. So I was told I need to get a Ford style starting solenoid, which is right down here, a Ford style starting solenoid, right? And I just wrapped my starter with the heat shield. I don't know if you can get a view of the starter down there, but anyway, it's right down there. And then once I did that Ford style starter solenoid, I didn't have any starting problems with that. So it was pretty cool, because it was a pain in the butt. This is just a Chevy brake booster. It's rusty and stuff. I may upgrade that later to the plastic kind. I've heard of different brands. Maybe there's a van one that I heard the guy that has the I think his name is Red Rose. He's on Bleeping Jeep, and I think he said to get some kind of, it's from a Chevy van. Anyway, I have to go back and watch that video. I may upgrade to that later. Now, talking about the cooling, this has been the biggest issue that I've had the most. Besides the charging issues, I've actually driven it for a while with the charging issues, but the cooling was the biggest issue that I've had, the cooling issue. So I'm going to show some pictures of what I used to have running in here and what I finally did. So what I did was I bought my radiator, and I had a fan, not the fan that's showing here, but I had a fan that I bought from Novak adapters. And the problem was the fan, as I'm going to show in the picture, the fan the shroud didn't cover the whole radiator, and it wasn't pulling enough CFMs. I think it was like 1300 CFMs, and it kept overheating. If I'm driving on the freeway, it's fine, but any kind of off-roading, slow time, it was always overheating, always overheating. I got tired of it overheating. So a buddy of mine, my boy Maui, I was telling you guys about, he lives in Alabama now, but he told me to, well, we were first trying to get a Ford Marquis fan. I went to 4 or 5 junkyards in you know, in the Southern California area. I couldn't find it, so I moved on and I got a fan from a 1990s Volvo, and I believe you can get them from a 740, 850, and a 950. And I have the relays are right here. See the relays to run the fan. Get a picture of it right here. The relays. Yeah, I can see if I can get a better picture in here. Got the relays right there that controls the fan. Okay, and then I also have from a BMW. I have the temperature switch. The temperature switch right here. So it's a dual speed fan. So that runs that off for me. And what I also have it wired inside the Jeep, so if I want to turn it on myself, I can have here, I have low, high, or I can just have it, have it here. If I wire it myself, I have low, I have high, or I can just have it run by the switch itself. Try this again. Okay, so here I have this fan back inside. I have low, high, or I could just have it run by the sensor itself. If I want to turn everything off, all I gotta do is just pop this here and the fan won't turn on at all, right? So that's a pretty cool thing. But yeah, the Novak adapter, I believe they've upgraded their whole system now, but that's one thing that it was a pain in the butt for a long time, because I was always overheating on the trail. I always have to stop and put the hood up and all that foolishness, which I don't have to really, it's not an issue anymore. All right, so these fans that I have, I was telling you, it's a dual speed fan. This is not scientific, but this is a way that I know I'm getting a good suction through the through my fan. I'm gonna turn it. I have 2 speeds, like I said. I'm gonna put it on low first, and I'll put it on high. You guys can see what it's doing. You stay there. All right, so you know it's good enough. If I put cardboard there, right? Put a cardboard, it's gonna hold it up. I know it's sucking. I know it's. I mean, it's doing its job. It's doing what I want it to do. This is on the low speed. I'm gonna change it to the high speed real quick. All right, now I have it on the high speed. It's pulling. It'll pull it in real good for you. I mean, that's one thing I know. This thing works. Like I said, it's not scientific, but it'll pull and hold my fan the way I need to hold it. Okay, we're gonna go back to my steering. I told you guys I had PSC steering. I made my own bracket right here. I just got some metal and drilled holes in it, and just made it just fastened it up right here. And I got it to work, and it fits. It's nice and stable. Doesn't shake or anything, so it does pretty good. The pump for the pump for the PSC for the RAM is right here. And that was pretty good. That was probably the PSC system that I have in it. It was pricey, but it really worked. What I'm trying to do is do something and do it one time. I want to do it and just do it one time and not have to worry about it. All right, one more thing I forgot to add was my RAM. It's right here. I have it mounted to my right there, steering linkage. Okay, and then it goes around to the other side. It's right above the axle. I have it right. Let me see if I can get in there. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Right in there. And I believe it's here's the pump itself, the gearbox. I believe it's a 8-inch RAM. I'm gonna go to my steering real quick as I'm talking about steering. My I'm gonna go to my I have a I think it's called Burgesson, I think it's called, steering shaft, I guess it's called. That was pretty good. It's solid. Like I steer, I don't get any wonders or wobbles or anything. It actually does pretty good with that. I want to move over to my I just got a new alternator put in. Well, this is from the Chevy, right? It's a Chevy alternator. The problem that I was having is that I was running through alternators fairly often. There was something that, you know, I'm not a electrician. I'm a teacher. I'm a PE teacher by trade. So I learned all this kind of stuff from high school, messing around with Volkswagens and stuff like that from a buddy of mine and I. And so, you know, I did the wiring in here. And one thing I thought I had it wired right, but what I did, I finally went to an alternator shop, and what the guy did was he put a resistor in right here for me. It's just a resistor, so now I can run the stock GM or the stock Chevy alternator. And then what I have is, because I was running through them and I don't trust it 100% yet, I have a one wire alternator right here, and I just have this back here for now. We'll get back to the inside of the Jeep in a minute, but I have a one wire system, so if I ever need to, I can just hook that up, and all I need is just a positive wire going to the battery, and it's good. I don't have to worry about that stuff. The good thing about this one here, though, is that if I have any issues, I can go to any like AutoZone, or I can go to a junkyard, or O'Reilly's is where I got mine from actually, and I have the lifetime warranty on it. So this is why this is good. The other one I like, but if I have any problems, I break down somewhere, I'm in the boonies, and I'm trying to find a shop, and I say, hey, I need an alternator. They don't have that one. They don't have that one right there. I can't just pick it up easy. I'm gonna go ahead and fire this bad baby up so you can just hear it, see how it sounds when it runs. It starts right up when I go to start it. All right, man. So let's give a little tour around this real quick. Kind of see how it does. Sounds pretty good here. Back to the fan. I did a custom job on the fan I didn't tell you guys about. I got some sheet metal, cut a hole in it, and I adapted my bracket from my old Novak fan. So anyway, the engine sounds nice and healthy. If you give it some gas, point it at the. If you give it some gas, it sounds, you hear it. So it sounds nice and healthy. I'm running a Flowmaster. I'm not sure what series it is, but it came with the Jeep when I had it. I think it's an 80 series, I think they call it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. All right, now that we have all that talked about, we're going to show you guys a little bit about the inside. I told you that I have a working parking brake, but it's not the best on hills. My driveway's on a steep hill, so I have my little chalk right there that I use. And a lot of times, if I need it on the trail, I have a little rope tied to it, and I just pull the rope, and I can move it as needed. All right, so anyway, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Jeep real quick. I have a Genrite roll cage. It's a full-line cage over here. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick this bad boy. Genrite cage does me pretty good. There's some other things. I may get some harnesses put in and do some things with that a little bit later. But like I said, right now it's for function, and I did it. I have to do it as I get money to build. The reason why I like the Genrite over other companies, and maybe they have changed it right now, but if you're over here by your feet, the roll cage doesn't go right here. There's not a big bar that's in your way for your foot. So I still have all the clearance that I want, and Genrite, they did a real good job by making the bracket goes up right against the frame of the Jeep, I guess, right now. So that's pretty good. It's welded in though, so you know, it's messing with my dash is not as easy as it would in the past. You have to really get under there if you want to do some stuff to your dash, any modifications or anything. If you guys have watched my videos, I have I'm always having reverse problems with my transmission. I have a Muncie 465 transmission. It's a 3-speed with a low gear. And what happens is sometimes when, like if I'm driving, especially most time it happens when you're on a pinch, but if I'm driving and let's say I go from, you know, I can get into reverse. Sometimes it's kind of funny, but if I don't shift it just right, if I go to reverse, it'll act like I went to third gear. And when I go back to first, it's not in first. It's still in that third gear. So it doesn't shift in the right way. I know how, like if when I'm on the trail, I know how I can fix that. But it's, you know, it's kind of a pain and it's an inconvenience. Which one day I'll get that fixed. There's a couple of resources I found online. I've done some of the things, but they don't all work. So I'll probably take it to a tranny guy sometime. I'm running a Dana 300 transfer case. Eventually, I want to put in. There's a couple companies that make a gear reduction, and I'll put the dual shifter on there. But I'll do that once I get time. People wondering why is your Jeep so junky? I use my Jeep, and in California we have some crazy weather over here. Where I live, I'm like 1 hour from the beach, an hour from the mountains, and we may get snow this weekend. We got snow like 2 weeks ago. So I have chains. If you go to the mountains, you want to carry chains, especially if you're going to do any kind of off-roading or anything. So I just keep my chains in here. If I can go, it's Friday today. If I can, I may try to go this weekend. I'm supposed to get some snow, but we'll see if I get to do that. As far as for my top, I have a hard top, but right now you guys can see I have a spider shade, it's called. So when my tops, I just keep it on, and then when the summertime comes or the weather's good, we have decent weather here, but it starts to get a little cold in the winter. So when I take my top off, I have the spider shade, and it keeps the sun off you. So that works pretty good. I have no AC, but I have a heater. The heater works good. When I was making when I was putting in my gauges, I did puncture a hole in back of here for my defrosters. There's a little thing, and I punched a hole in it. So my defrosters don't work the best. I'll probably rig something else so I can get the defrosters working. But you know, we don't really get that icy and stuff here right now anyway, so it's not really a big concern of mine as of now. All right, so here's my dash. It's here. I'm gonna feel something in the radial thing on, so I might get some time, I guess. Put probably some switches in there. But anyway, I have my new gauges. I have the fuel, the water, the voltage. I still have to get the oil. That's the old school speedometer. And then I have my tachometer and the clock. Clock doesn't work. It works, but it doesn't keep time the best. So I'll probably get something new. I have to get a new filler light for that. But everything, gauges work. Got to get everything done up here. So I'll show a video of how it works at night. I put LED lights in the odometer gauges, and man, it makes a big difference as far as when you're trying to see stuff. Anyway, okay guys, so back to the gauges. Something I want to show is the upgrade that I've done. As I said before, I put in odometer gauges. I'm not totally done. I still have to do the the pressure gauge, but this is with the lights off. I popped them on. You can see how bright they are. So what I did, actually that's the oil pressure one right here. You can barely see it. So I put LED lights in. You can see how bright they are. I did it for my fuel, the volts, the water pressure, and then I did it also on my tack. You see my clock over here still, you can barely even read it. If I move over here, you can barely read it. So that's an upgrade, definitely. If you want some better gauges, better lighting. Once again, this is kind of blurry here. Let me see. This is with it off. This is with it on. So I can actually read my levels at nighttime. I have to change the lights in my speedometer. You know, my fuel gauge and the temperature gauge, you know, they're not working because I redid them, but everything else. So anyway, that's the gauges. Pretty good at nighttime. You can see pretty good. All right. About my seats. I used to, back in the day, I had a 91 CRX, and this is a 91 CRX seats. I just got from a junkyard. when I was in, I think I was in Alabama when I got these. I went to college in Alabama. And these are, you know, from a 91, I paid $150, something like that. Put them in. It's much better than the stock stiff ones that don't move anywhere. They recline. Right now, I have the rear seat in. I have the rear seat in there, the rear seat with the tire back there. So I can't really recline like I want to, you know. But this Jeep, you know, I mean, the seats they do well. All right. So for now, you know, my spare tire I keep inside of the Jeep. I'm trying to save up for a Gen-Right tire carrier. I'll probably get that in the next couple months. Whenever I get enough money to get what I want to do, something always comes up, or a new project. Of course, I always keep TP in here and just some tissue for my nose or something. But you know, when you gotta go, when you're in the woods, you gotta go. All right. So the thing about CJ that I like is that we have this little thing you can sit on for the door, the swing down little door. It's pretty cool. I can eat lunch or just chill, sit on that. There's some stuff I carry in my Jeep. My gas mileage sucks. A lot of times I keep this full. Like if I go on a trip, I can always fill up if the gas station's not around. I got my water, and I lock up my tire. Anyway, I have this little, you know, this little ghetto system right here. Some Bose speakers that I got from the guy. The guy left them in my shop when I moved into his house. My other one fell off in my last trip. So, like I said, you know, I'm always talking about I'm broke as a joke. I do stuff by necessity. I don't drive my Jeep all that much, so when I'm not driving it, I unhook the battery. But I have a solar charger right here. We do get sun here, even though it's been kind of windy. I've been waiting to get this video down for about a week because it's been kind of windy here. But today it calmed down for a second. So, all right. Alright, so I'm going to take you guys on a test drive on the CJ. It drives like an old truck as far as the shifting goes. It's not, you know, it's not always smooth. I have 3-speed, not counting low gear, and I'm going to take you guys on a ride. Here we go. I always start off in first gear. I don't start off in low. Low is too low. I'm wasting time if I start in that. I have a Detroit locker in the rear, so if I turn in corners, I give it gas, you're gonna hear chirping. If you want to have a quiet ride, this is not the vehicle for you. As you're inside, it makes some noise as you're in moving. So what we'll do a little bit of street driving, then I'll take you guys on the freeway. You can see how, you know, it drives smooth. It doesn't wander very well. It just goes. It doesn't wander very much, I should say. So right now we're at 35 miles an hour. It's 40 naturally. The speedometer is pretty accurate. You see, it's a stick shift, so you know you have to work when you drive it. I typically drive. I can have, you know, just a finger on the wheel. I can drive it no hand. It doesn't bump. It doesn't go anywhere. It drives pretty accurate. My brakes, I could probably change my front brakes a little bit. It gets spongy a little bit, but overall, you know, it does okay. It moves. If you want it to move, it'll get up and move. But it drives true. All right, we'll get back on when we can pick up a little more speed. I'll be back. All right, now we're on a open road. We can travel a little bit faster. You can see how it just moves, you know. It's not a race car or anything, but it drives pretty well. The old springs, you know, it's not the smoothest ride, but it gets you where you want to go when you got to get there. All right, we're gonna hit the freeway. gas, it'll move. But 55 now, traffic's kind of moving slow. You see I'm at right now, 65, a little about 30 grand on the RPM, but it'll move. It's a gas hog. It'll get us where we gotta go. As I'm driving, doesn't wander, goes pretty good. I can see here, no hands, just I'll be true. Freeway does good, steering's good. You know, just like I said, it just drives like an old truck. But besides that, this thing is not that bad driving. You have to get comfortable with it, but it gets you where you need to go. I'm extremely happy with it. I'm just continuing to build as I get time. For those of you who don't know, I have two Jeeps. I have the 85 Cj7 and I have a 07 Jeep JKU. They're both running 37s. I have the Toyo Open Country mud terrain. The red Jeep has it's a 37 BFG KM2s. You can see the height difference on them, right? So they're both very capable rigs. The JK is a Rubicon, so it's locked front and rear as well. But just kind of want to show you guys the difference in the. You guys can see the difference in the size of how they look here, right? There's nothing really special about the JKs, you know, this 07 JK. The only thing mod that I really did to it, we put a 4.5 inch Terraflex lift on it, and I have the Poison Spider tire carrier. I'll do a few more things to the JK, but nothing special. Nothing for now. I spend most of my money and stuff and time on this thing, but with time, you know, it's having projects. This is one of my projects that I have. It's money, you know. They say Jeep stands for just empty every pocket, and but I'm having a good time with it. All right, so that's a walk around in my CJ. Thanks for checking it out. I hope to do more videos soon. Peace and I'm out.